Thunder Cave, page 224, in the middle. I got the gauze out of the tackle box. Should I put anything on this? I asked. Yeah, my father said. He was sweating with exertion. Put some Benadine on it. It won't do much good, but it will make me feel better. I'll give him an antibiotic shot before we give him the antidote. I squirted the Benadine onto the gauze. A moment later, he was through the first tusk. Take it away, he said, and started cutting the other tusk. It took the 2 men in Moha to pull the heavy tusk away. They put it on their shoulders and walked towards the truck. As I filled the cavity with gauze, I felt something cold hit my neck. It happened again, and I looked up. It was beginning to rain. The long rains, my father said. This is unbelievable. I looked over at Donovan. He was watching the rain make small craters in the dust. He didn't look very happy. And I wished that I could tell Sapit to turn it off, just for a few minutes. Sapit, I thought, just until we get this job done. It began to rain harder. Before my father finished cutting through the second tusk, he told the men to hold the end of it. I don't want it to break off and fracture up into the socket. They held on while he cut, and the tusk dropped off cleanly. They took the tusk away, and I stuffed the second cavity with gauze. Okay, my father said. I'm going to give it an antibiotic shot, and then I'm going to give it the antidote. Get all of his gear out of here and stand back. While he gave the antibiotic shot, I packed the gear up and carried it a short distance away. Donovan, Moha, and I watched as my father stood near the elephant's head. He found a vein in the ear and slowly injected the M5050. He stood back and watched the elephant for a moment, then reached down and picked up the rifle and joined us. This will only take a couple of minutes, he said. Do you have that other dart? I handed him the dart and he reloaded the rifle. Are you ready to do this again? He asked. Sure, I said. The elephant began to move. It swung its legs and rocked itself onto the sternum and shook its head. A moment later, it got into a sitting position and slowly got to its feet. It took a step forward and almost fell, but regained its balance. I looked at the bloody stumps. The elephant looked deformed without its magnificent tusks. Quite a sight, isn't it? My father said grimly. I looked down at Donovan and Moha. They were both silent and looked angry and frustrated, but not because of the elephant. The rain was pouring down now. Called off on account of rain? I had a feeling they weren't going to be satisfied with one elephant.